So have you got your driving test in Merthyr Tydfil? If you do, this is the video for you to watch. This route is sponsored by RouteBuddy, which we'll talk about a little bit later on in the video. And it's going to cover a route from Cwmbach Park through Penydarren, which is going to cover multiple types of roads and scenarios. There is an instance where we had to adapt the route in the middle, so we talk through how to adapt and what the examiners will do if these routes need to be adapted. So we're going to get on with this route, and just I hope this route will help you understand the types of roads that you may cover on your driving test route in Merthyr. So the driving test centre is just behind me on the right hand side, and what I find with this estate is, where the driving test centre is, that as soon as you come out of the driving test centre, there's a lot of parked vehicles which you need to be able to deal with straight away. It's also a 30-mile-an-hour road, so expect vehicles to come through just a little bit faster than what you may be used to. So we're going to move away from the side of the road, and we're going to be taking the next left. So whenever you turn in, it's mirrors, signal, position, and then speed. Then at the end of this road, I can see there's 40-mile-an-hour signs. I'm going to be turning left. Some mirrors. Just going to wait for this Mercedes to come past, and then it's safe to go. If you're not sure, stop at a junction. Make sure that it is safe before you actually proceed. So because I've come out on a 40-mile-an-hour road, I need to start to build my speed up gradually. So I'm doing 30, I'm doing 35 now, so I'll go for fourth gear. Make sure that you're showing that you are trying to pick your speed up. The examiners want to see you make progress. Going into a 30 zone, so checking round, gentle brake. I'm going to leave it in fourth gear at the moment. And by leaving it in fourth, the car's going to want to pull you just a little bit more. And at the end of this road, we've got a roundabout coming up. The sat-nav saying is 0.3 of a mile away. I know it's coming up just after the next bend, so I'm going to put it into third now, just so the car doesn't start struggling or try to pull me too much. And now I can see the boards for the roundabout. And I'm taking the second exit straight ahead, so rear and left mirrors. Just get my position, staying to the left all the way around the roundabout. Mirrors, signals to come off. And then I'm still on the 40 roads, but there's another roundabout coming up, so I'm going to just take it to 25 and then start to ease off my gas pedal. So mirrors, signals, taking the first exit. So 30 zone is painted on the floor. So third gear, it is safe to proceed. This road here, I can see it's pulling up on the left straight away, then moving away again, even maybe pulling up on the right, and then reversing back 2 car lengths. Just trying to see if there's an option for bay parking there as well, but there's no road markings in the car park, so it's going to be a little bit hard to do a bay park in there. Now coming up ahead, I've got another roundabout, and we're going to be taking the third exit. And the third exit is to the right. I've got parked vehicles on a brow of a hill, so I'm going to slow down, pick second gear, vehicle coming towards me. It is giving me space, but I'm just going to let them go. Check my right to come back out, left to come back in. I'm not going to risk overtaking on the brow of a hill when there's something coming towards me. So roundabout coming up, so third exit right, so mirrors, signals. Signal back on because it's cancelled. I'm just waiting for this van. He's actually turned off now. So there's my first exit. There's my second exit. So mirrors, signals, and exited in the roundabout. As I come out, I'm just going to check my mirrors again, and I can see there's a 20 zone coming up. So we're on Cwmbach Road. And there's a lot of parked vehicles, so just be aware that you may have to move to the left and to the right. So check my rear and right mirrors just to come around these parked cars a little bit. They are parked up on the pavement. They shouldn't be parked on the pavement, but they parked on the pavement, so they're actually trying to keep the flow of traffic going and stay out of the way at the same time. Right mirror to come back out. Left to come back in. This lady should have gone by the time I get there. Check my left mirror, just come back in a little bit. So pedestrian crossings, nobody's pressed the button. If somebody has pressed the button, I'm going to be checking behind to make sure that I can stop if the lights were to change. Car picked up a little bit of speed there. Will the examiners mark you down if you just tip the speed limit slightly? Doubt it very much. They can give you a minor for it as long as you pull it straight back and you don't hold it at the higher speeds. So if you're holding it at the higher speeds and you're disregarding the speed limits, then they are going to fail you for it. If you notice that you picked up the speed and you drop it straight back down to bring it back into the speed limit, then they're not going to mark you for it. But they can give you a minor. We're going to be going straight ahead on this roundabout. So rear and left mirrors. I'm in a left position. There's no road markings to say that they shouldn't be using this lane. I've got vehicles coming from my right. So as I go in, I'm going to change my gear to my mirrors and signals. I can come off next to the curb. Check my right, just in case something was coming around me. So this is going up towards the town centre at the moment. Is Avenue de Clichy. And there's a bit of an intersection coming up. You can see that you've got to turn left. And there's two lanes turning left. So because I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to go for the left lane. I'm going to put a signal on anyway. Nothing coming from my right. So I'm in a one-way system. Just following the road. So now we're on College Boulevard. So I'm expecting a lot of people walking out in the road. It's not at the moment, but because there's a college there, I am going to expect those sort of things. I'm just following the road around. The signboard is telling me that the road goes to the right. and the road markings confirm it. The silver car is going to wait for me as I come around the corner. I'm going to be going left. So I'll check my mirrors, my signals, because I'm crossing over giveaway line, go straight back into a left position. But if I was to be turning right at the next set of traffic lights, I would have gone for the right lane. Now this is a 30 road, but I'm just holding this back a little bit at the moment because of the traffic lights, mirrors. Because I'm first in the queue, I'm going to signal on approach and then wait at the stop line. Now you may have seen on previous videos that I say that if you're a few cars back and you're waiting, then I'd stop the car, then as I start to move, then I put the indicator on. So the reason why I put the indicator on as I'm moving, as I'm in the front of the queue, the reason for that is if those lights were to change back, everybody knows where I'm going. So don't worry, these lights are quite hard to see. I'm right on, just before the line, and I hardly see the traffic lights, so I'm turning left. And because there's no speed signs as I come through the traffic lights, this is a 30 road, and the repeater sign on the left hand side confirms it, and the road markings confirm it as well. So I'm just picking my speed up gradually. I'm showing that I'm trying to make progress, and I'm turning right at the next intersection, which is traffic lights and mirrors. I'm going to drift into position first. Again, I'm going to be first in a queue, so I'll signal on approach, because if the lights change, people need to know where I'm going. And I get right up to that stop line. So at the moment, I'm looking over to my right to see that everything's all going to be safe to go. And you've just got to wait patiently. I can see on my exits when I turn that it's going back into a 20-mile-an-hour zone. So whenever you're, okay, it's just about to move then. We've got a straight ahead arrow and a left arrow, but my lights are still red, so I need to stay here. When you're turning into junctions or intersections, always look for speed signs just before and just after. Lights are changing, it's giving me priority. So as you turn, there's a new speed sign. So now you know that the road you're turning into has changed. If there's nothing on the turn as I came in, then the speed of the road would be the same as what you've just come off. Just following this road around. This road's going to bring us out by Cwmbach Park in a minute. Interestingly, I can't show you this, but the car is saying that the speed limit on this road is 110 miles an hour. It's seen something which is not correct, and it just proves that you can't take for granted what the cars or the sat-nav say to you, because it may be wrong. So we're going to be going left on this roundabout, some mirrors and signals. Checking to my right, nothing coming. Exit's clear, checking to my right. So Cwmbach Park's on my right hand side, 30 mile an hour zone now. So I've brought it up to 26, 27 mile an hour. Sat-nav screen's probably showing a little bit less, but the actual speed of the car is saying 27 mile an hour. I'm going to be turning right up ahead. So I'm going to go mirrors. I can see hatch markings, signal, check my mirror again as I done the signal. I'm going to do a gentle brake to come into the box, and then I'm going to pick first gear because of all the vehicles coming towards me. I'm lining up my right door mirror with the centre of the road I want to turn into, so the centre line. In we go, nobody on the pedestrian crossing, 30-mile-an-hour zone, checking behind again, checking my right as well. Now this would probably be a little bit confusing if you're not familiar where you are. You've got to repeat a sign there to say 30, and then you've got 30 there and 30 on the road. So make sure that when you make these turns you are looking for road signs to make sure that you know what the speed of the roads are. So roundabout coming up, we're going to be going right. So rear, right mirrors, right position, right signal. Second gear, nothing coming from my right, exit's clear. There's number 2, so mirrors, signals, position, speed, 20-mile-an-hour zone. So as you notice then, as soon as I come off the roundabout, the speed changed. So this is why you need to be aware and check in as you approach junctions, as you exit junctions, as you turn into junctions. Always make sure that you're checking for speed signs. Because if you're not aware of these signs, then it could catch you out. Ultimately, it's going to fail your driving tests, but more so if there's a camera, you are going to pick up penalty points and you are going to pick up a fine. So make sure that you are aware of the speed limits. So Prince Charles Hospital's on my left hand side behind the green fence. And I've said this on previous videos, but this road feels like it should be going a lot faster up here. But it's been changed to 20 mile an hour, so we have to adhere to the speed limits. Got another roundabout coming up. Got my sat nav, 0.2 mile away. And I've got to brow over hill, so the car's going to pick up speed as soon as I go into that hill. Just check my left mirror to come over a little bit, which allows this black vehicle to come through with me. Going straight ahead, so rear and left mirrors, coming off the gas, doing a gentle brake for the car behind. There's a vehicle coming from the right, so I'm a bit more brake now. Checking my right again, rear and left mirrors, and I'm going to check my mirrors again just before I put the signal on. Cancelling the signal because it's junction. Gentle brake just so I'm letting this vehicle come through. Right mirror to come back out. And we're on Gurnos Road. And this is very deceiving, this road. It actually looks a lot shallower than what it is. It is trying to pick up speed on its own. If I was to go into third gear now, the car would just want to go. So I'm going to hold it back in second gear and just control it with the brake. If it was a 30 mile an hour road, which it would have been previously before the speed limit changes in Wales, then I would go for third. I wouldn't go for fourth gear. I want to be using a gear lower than what the speed limits allow me to do, just so I got a bit of extra engine braking. So I've got a bend at the bottom of the road, and I probably can't see at the moment, but there's arrows pointing that way, so it's quite a sharp bend. So I'm just controlling that speed, just easing off the brake just a little bit as I go into the bend, because the bend is going to want to try and slow me down. Right mirror for the parked cars, left mirror to come back in, right mirror to come back out. gentle brake. Jag will pull into the junction a little bit. So I've dropped it down to 15 mile an hour now. The vehicle on the left has just closed their door. Right mirror to come out a little bit. I'm just going to move out just in case they reopen their door. And again, I'm just still controlling this now with the brake pedal and the lower gear. At the bottom of the hill, I'm going to be turning left, so check my mirrors now. I'm going to recheck just before I reach this grey car and put my signal on. Checking my right, checking my left, check my right again. And we've got quite a steep hill here. And we got the bends as well. And we've got a board now for a roundabout. We're going to be going right, so rear and right mirrors, right position. So there's a bit of a separate lane there, which could confuse people for cycles and for buses. I'm going to pick first gear. Nothing coming from my right. Double check each time. There's a lot of hatch markings there just for cyclists. Going into a 30 zone, so on the exit there's new speed signs. So I'm going to take it up to 25 to start with. Somebody going for the pedestrian crossing, so I'm just going to hold my speed at 25. Nothing behind me, lights are still green so I can pick it back up. Take it to 30, then go for third gear. It's a steep hill, steep of the hill, give it a little bit more power. So we're on the A4102. And I got another roundabout coming up, which I'm going to be going right again. So rear view mirror, right signal lamp position. Check my right, vehicles coming. They're actually turning. Second gear, no gas. I'm going to give the lorry time to go. Rear view mirror, left signal. And this is now Goat Mill Road. But although I'm using an app today for these driving test routes, the apps will make it a little bit easier for you to familiarise yourself with the routes and the roads you may drive on when you're on driving test. I'm going to be taking the next right. But you should always seek professional driving lessons to make sure that you are getting the best possible instruction in the areas. I'm just following this road. Got a lot of speed humps now. Anything with speed humps, you should be doing around 15 mile an hour as you go over them. You don't want to be braking too hard. As you brake, the front end of the car goes down, so you don't want to be pushing all that pressure into your shock absorbers and damaging your shock absorbers. So as you go over, you just want to ease off the brake a little bit, just so the front end of the car lifts a little bit, just to take the pressure away from the shock absorbers. So I'm just going to give it a little bit extra brake here because this vehicle in front is braking a little bit hard for my liking. They're actually coming down here 14 mile an hour. Sat nav is saying a little bit less. We're going straight ahead on the roundabout, mirrors. Stay to the left. Mirrors, signals. And again, I'm still going to give myself a little bit extra space with this vehicle in front. And the sat nav here says there's a roundabout, but it's not, it's traffic lights. So rear, right mirrors. This is why they were going so slow. They were actually waiting to pull over somewhere. So I just said now, sat nav said that that was a roundabout, but it wasn't, as traffic lights. You need to be aware things can change. There might have been a roundabout there previously, but the maps haven't updated yet. And even on the car sat nav, it was actually saying that there was a roundabout there. So I've got a road narrowing sign coming up then. And I've also got road ahead closed. So I'm not sure what's going to happen here. So I might have to modify the route slightly. So the road ahead is actually closed. So we're going to turn left here. It's a very tight turn. Can't turn left. Can't turn right. So we're going to have to take the next left turn. It's a one-way street. So sat-nav should recalculate. Before we carry out the next part of the video, I'd just like a quick shout out to our sponsor today, RouteBuddy, which supplies driving test routes for all around the country. One of the biggest issues when learning how to drive is filling those gaps and practice on roads where you may have to go on your driving test. So RouteBuddy has been designed to give you the best possible chance of learning in between driving lessons and while you're on personal practice. When you use the app, all you need to do is select your driving test centre and select the route which you'd like to practice on. RouteBuddy will give you turn-by-turn directions throughout the route. If the route has to be changed, then RouteBuddy will do it for you. If there is unexpected roadworks on roads or road closures, just turn off the route and RouteBuddy will change the route for you, getting you back on track as quick as it can. I genuinely think that if you are learning to drive and you get into test standard, RouteBuddy will help you practice in your area on roads where the examiners are likely to take you. All you need to do is select the driving test centre where you're taking your driving test, and it'll give you multiple routes for you to practice on. So if you're looking for an app which will help you with your driving lesson practice or just general driving practice, then RouteBuddy is for you. And we're actually going to go right here. And I'll wait for this vehicle to come down the hill. So this is what happens when you're on driving test and routes change. This, believe it or not, is a two-way road. It's very, very narrow. Be lucky to get two cars in there at the same time. So turning right. and I'm hoping to get this back onto route. So there was a sign right at the top at Gurnos Road to say that it was only open for residents, but because I'm following the sat-nav's just actually changed now. So I need to turn left here. So this is the road which is closed. And I'm coming out on a roundabout when I'm taking the first exit left. So would it be just coming straight down the hill there? So if something like that was to happen on driving test, the examiners will now change the route to say where you have to go. The sat-nav itself then was just a bit slow to respond to what I needed to do, but we've actually come back out on the same road. So I'm going to turn left on this roundabout. Some mirrors, signals. Bus coming from my right, signal back on. After this car I'm going. So I can see the bus now has got his indicator on. It doesn't look like it's a bus stop here, but there is a turn in. He's gone straight past the turning with a left indicator on. Now he's cancelled his indicator as he's going past the bus stop and he's not actually parking. So normally I'd be thinking I need to go around that bus at some point. But you've also got to look at this from the point of view that people do give wrong signals. So we've got roughly 5 minutes left on this route. And we're still in the 20-mile-an-hour zone. Nobody on the pedestrian crossing. Nobody's pressed the button. Now this is Plymouth Street. And it's always quite busy because there's a lot of industrial units and businesses down on the left-hand side. So there's a lot of meeting situations coming up here. So the bus is actually dropping passengers off now and they haven't got a signal on. Now they're putting a signal on. And they're actually dropping passengers off where there is no bus stop. So they should have dropped them off there. Expect people to do things which are out of the norm. What was actually a little bit more confusing, the people who he actually dropped off have just walked straight past the bus stop. So if he'd parked in the bus stop, they wouldn't have had to walk so far. So we've got a vehicle on the left-hand side. Looks like it's dropping cars off to the Ford dealership. Whenever you stop behind vehicles in traffic, always leave a little bit of space in front. And what instructors teach is tyres and tarmac. I can see the tyres, I can see the road, so I know there's enough space. Normally I just go a little bit closer. So I probably go to about here. But the reason why I stayed back a little bit there was because of the bus. I need to be able to see around the bus. So if there's a car, I go a little bit closer. Because it's a bus, I'd have held back a little bit. I'm just going to wait for that bus to pull back in so I can see around. There are vehicles coming towards me. And right mirror again. left to come back in, but I'm just going to go next to the white line so I can check my right to come back out. Then I'm going into a 40 zone, but I got a roundabout up ahead where I'm going to be going straight ahead. So rear and left mirrors. Putting it back into second gear, controlling my speed all the way through. Checking right. Stay to the left hand side as you're coming through. Rear, left mirrors, left signal. Checking around the car as I exit. 40-mile-an-hour road, gonna pick the speed back up. Doing 35 in a 40 zone. Checking the pedestrian crossing. Nobody there, nobody's pressed the button. Doing 37, 38. So sat-nav always says that you're doing slightly less than what you're actually doing, because it's working on GPS. Always listen to what the car's telling you. And we've got another roundabout coming up, taking a third exit to the right. So rear, right mirrors, holding the right position, gentle braking, mirrors again, signals. Trucks coming all the way around, so I'm going to pick first gear. After the black van is good to go, so I'm going to follow the black van in, signal back on. Mirrors, signals. So I'm in a 30 zone. I'm going to pick third gear, I'm doing 24 mile an hour. 25. So this is the home stretch back to the driving test centre. Nothing much to really worry about on this road. Going back into a 40 zone. So I'm checking behind, checking right, making sure nothing's going to go around me. If the vehicle in front starts to pick up the speed, I'll pick up my speed as well. But I am going to be taking the next right turn back towards the driving test centre. I'm going to go mirrors. See the hatch markings, mirrors again, signal. Gentle brake on this lane. As I come in, I'm going to give it a little bit firmer brake. The exit is clear. The vehicle in front coming towards me, I've got plenty of time, so I'm picking second gear. And then I'm going into a 30 zone. Then I'm going right, some mirrors, signals and position. Park vehicles around the junction. So making sure it's all safe first. And the driving test centre is up on the left hand side.
Road with restricted access.
So apart from the little break in the middle of the test route, where the sat-nav didn't cut in quick enough, that was a real nice route to actually take. YouTube's about to pop another video link up here somewhere, because they think that you might want to see that type of video. So thanks for watching. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, share it if you think somebody else will benefit the video, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.